Hey there, hey, it's Michelle with Brilliant Quest, where we teach you how to be brilliant, magnificent, gain your personal power, and step into the you that you always wanted to be. So today I'm going to be talking to you about three reasons why you should do it now. Now, with a channel and community called Brilliant Quest, guess what I haven't talked to you about? Questing. Yeah, who would have thought? So I made notes, and I'm not gonna keep you long, but I do want you to take this as a sign that it is time for you to do it now. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about why you should take action. A few books come to mind. There is one, and I really just kind of want you to focus on the name of it, and it's taken from this old adage of get ready, aim, shoot. And so it flips that on its head, and it says, get ready, shoot, aim. And it was at the advent of .coms. And then they took it over into when Silicon Valley and software and apps started really hitting the scene. And it was kind of like fail fast, launch broken, fix it on the fly, all of these different things. And it was really novel. And it had its, a chance to go through its cycle. And the way life is, cycles come back around. And guess what? We're at that point again, where it's really time for us to be ready, shoot, and then aim, fix on the way. All right. So, I want to talk to you, like I said, about why you should do it now, why you should go on a brilliant quest now, amazing yourself with something that you may have never thought that you could do. And so the three things, the way we do it here, I'm going to give them to you up front. We're going to talk about them. Okay. And you're going to stick around to the end. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you. So on the notes I've got, the first thing you should do is get your quest together. And that's the ready part. All right. So with your quest, if you're new to this channel, I'm an author, and so I rely heavily on a lot of literary devices, especially when I'm trying to drive something home, because I always see the life lessons and a lot of the things that us authors use to paint a story that's believable. Okay, so when it comes to quest, there are things that are just known about components of a quest that make them a quest. And that second book I was talking about, and I've talked about this book before, and it's called How to Read Fiction Like a Literature Professor. Yeah, and it's by Dr. Thomas C. Foster. Like I said, I'm looking at my notes a little bit. And he's got these different components. And I'm just going to read those to you because I want to give them to you, but I'm going to just focus on a few. Okay. So when you're creating a quest, you want to have a protagonist. And that's a fancy word for saying a main character. So like now you hear about people saying, oh, they got main character energy. Well, you should. It's your quest. And so first and foremost, I want you to decide who you want to start as. And for some people, that's going to be like, I'm clueless. I don't have the resources. I don't know how to get started. That's your main character. In writing, that's called being a stranger in a strange world, where you are dumped into a new world. Maybe it's Japanese isekai. Maybe it is being crash landed on an alien planet. I guess y'all can tell I do a lot of sci-fi and fantasy. But anyway, understanding that you are going to be the main character. And because we are going to be using the format of ready, shoot, aim, I don't want you spending so much time trying to be perfect about who you're going to be and what kind of energy, main character energy you're going to be. And it's okay to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. All right. So like I said, the first part is you got to have your main character, and that's got to be you. Now, the next part of the quest has to be a direction, if you will. And a direction also has this term that can throw people off called a goal. Isn't that something that a goal is not necessarily the outcome, but it is the generalized direction of where you want to go? Because in life, you will have problems, struggles, and outcomes that you didn't bargain for. But when you have a goal, if you will, it's going to help you. So this is Big Sis Michelle giving you a little addendum to this. And that is, because you're going to start this quest, you're going to be the main character. And yeah, you're going to have a direction or a goal. What I want you to most and foremost have is a strategy, a system, a process, a plan, because that's what gets you to where you need to be. Having a goal does. And now, of course, you can have SMART goals where they say they can, have to be definable. They have to, be self-contained and all that. But ain't nobody got time to be trying to remember that when you are in the thick of living. So your plan, your system, your process, those are going to be things that make more sense in the doing. So get your plan, get your system. And I'm going to tell you, if you can't figure that out and it's too hard for you to be able to do it now, this is what I'm going to challenge you to do. Instead of saying, oh, I have this big old system and all this kind of stuff. What I want you to do instead, if like you just starting, I want you to fail fast. Now, on a live I did recently, I gave people a challenge because at this particular time of this recording, we're almost at the end of the year and we've got roughly around 10 weeks left. And one of the fastest ways to get over being stuck is to challenge yourself to fail as spectacularly as you possibly can, and to document it so that you can look at it, be entertained by it, and then learn from it. All right. So fail fast. And then this is another one. Instead of trying to develop habits and develop self-discipline, what I want you to do is I want you to develop a rule or rules and ritual or rituals. Now, a rule is just, something that you do. And I don't want to overwhelm you, but I do want to let you know that a hack for a rule is to include the word shall. Words have power. And the word shall, shall, in the English language, is a power word of command for the purpose of it is so. So embedded in shall is a command, and it is so, meaning that it is here or it is to come to pass without, it shall be done. Okay. So when you develop your rules, maybe only 3, like I shall do X, Y, and Z in the mornings. I shall go to bed at X, Y, and Z at night. Start off with some of those things. And then the other one, ritual, I am putting you on game. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I am putting you on game, and people are charging a lot of money for this. So stay with me. Ritual. Now, ritual is a spiritually potent way of creating really good habits. So a ritual is a habit with a lot of personal significance to it. So I don't want you to try to develop new habits. I want you to have rules, and I want you to have actions within these rules that have a significance to you. And then this is the next part. I want you to make your rules and then don't break them. Yeah, that is going to be a fast way for you to get started on this quest. All right. So when you say, oh, Michelle, I broke my rule, get up and try it again. And the more you try it and the more you understand that I shall do this, that power starts working on you. Okay. All right. So we've got the main character, who is you. We've got the goal, but I'm telling you, instead of just trying to focus on a goal, have a plan, have a system. And to shortcut the plan or system, if you're stymied by that and you're like, oh, that's too much, then make sure you do the 2 R's. You make your rules, make them simple enough so that you can do them and not too many, and you have your rituals. And then what you're going to do is the rituals are components within the rules or actions you got to take to get the rules obeyed. Use the word shall in your rules, and then don't break the rules. And that hopscotches you on to taking action. All right, this is good. I don't care what you say. Put it in the comment, R&R, if you made it to this point. All right, then the next thing is you need to have a why. You need to have a reason for why you want to take this quest. It can't just be because I think this is what I'm supposed to do. That reason, if you will, needs to have something that urges you on, something that future casts you into the person that you want to be. Basically, the reason to go is tied to the outcome that you're looking for. So for instance, if your new quest is to get a new car because you are driving to work every day, hoping and praying you don't break down, hoping and praying it's got enough oil in the car, and I'm not trying to say that everybody is at that point. That just came to me. But whatever it is, that could be your quest. And your quest could be to satisfy the remedy for that. And that could be your reason. All right. So the next part is, what are the challenges? As you are going, as you are getting active in it, understand and don't let it throw you that you're going to have challenges, obstacles, and hurdles that you must overcome. A lot of them, people can usually be pretty good at understanding the generalized obstacles that happen to us, the external stuff, but it's that internal stuff. And one thing about going on a quest, when you start a quest, oh baby, you start learning yourself in a whole new way. And hopefully you'll start to learn patterns, and you'll recognize the signs, and you'll be able to use metaphor to help you get through it. Those are 3 more components from that book, How to Read a Book Like Literature Like a Professor. I tell you, it's a great book. All right. So the next thing is, and so I'm gonna repeat, y'all know I like to repeat so you can understand. So you got your main character, you got your goals. Under your goals, Michelle slid in there your R&R. That's going to be your rules and your rituals. And don't forget to put that word shall in there. It's a magic word. I'm telling you, it's got a lot of power. It does a lot of heavy lifting. Have your rituals. Rituals are really habits with some personal significance to them. And they live within the rules. And then just set out to not break the rules. Okay. The next thing is you got to have your why. You got to have your reason for going. Then you got to be mindful that you're going to have challenges in this life. You will have struggle. Don't let it throw you. It's okay. And because you're going to be aware that you're going to have both external and internal struggles where you kind of start learning about yourself, because you are aware of them, you will understand that this is something that came to pass, not to stay. And then you'll be able to keep moving, right? Okay. So then the next thing is, we're on a journey. So, we're on a quest. So this is a journey. And when you're talking about a journey, understand that a journey is usually a long trip to get to your outcome. Remember, the goal is a direction, but when you have a system and a plan that helps you, and a better way of looking at it is what is the outcome you want to have? Well, the journey is going to be there to help you. And the one thing I like to say about a journey is, and like I said, I got my notes. One of the things is that when you start that journey, you're going to be amazed at what it takes to fuel yourself through the journey. The enemy and most of the monsters that lurk in the dark are going to be in here. And that's why we call them brilliant quests, because you got to get this part, that brilliance of being you, to get from where you are to the outcome of where you want to be. All right. And then you're going to have a mentor. And I'm going to, talk about that a little bit as well. Being on a quest is really powerful because there are certain things that just kind of really show up when you are doing this. And that is comrades, people that are possibly doing it as well. People who understand what it's taking for you to do this journey. Not necessarily they're hanging out with you, but they're right there saying, yeah, that's me too. And then your real reason for going on this quest, you get far enough in that journey, and the real reason, or the bigger reason, or the more truthy reason starts to show up. Okay. So the first reason that you want to go now is because you need to start your quest. It's not going to start until you start it. And I'm telling you, when you do this quest and understand these components, it's going to be powerful. The next reason, like I said, when we were talking about the components that Dr. Foster talks about in a quest, is going to be a mentor. Okay. So if you think about The Hobbit, Star Wars, a lot of these different fanciful, epic quests, there's a mentor. And there's a saying that says, when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. And a lot of people don't understand, the teacher doesn't show up because you never started. You didn't get on the quest. You didn't get ready, shoot, and then aim. That mentor comes while you're in the midst of learning how to aim, because you need to learn how to aim, and therefore the teacher shows up. That's the mentor. There are a lot of people that want to have everything in place before they take one step. They want to make sure that they can mitigate the risk as much as possible before they have any skin in the game. And I will tell you, when you're questing, really doing the work, oh baby, sometimes the mentor comes because they can't stand to see you get beat down anymore. And they're like, oh, I got to help this child. But if you're trying to buy your way into it, if you're trying to network your way into it and you're not doing anything, then it won't work. I remember this guy, and I've mentioned it in a previous video. There's this one guy who he was really good at helping people get from in the middling, like they're making good money and they're doing some things, but they keep hitting a ceiling. And he was kind of like a king queen maker. But one of the tenets of who he would work with, no matter how much he charged, was you must have had at least one situation where you lost it all. Not almost, but where you lost it all. And his reasoning for that was that if you've not gone to the end of yourself, if you've not failed in a spectacular way, you're not able to do what it takes through the way he's able to mentor. And thus, a lot of times he would mentor people who were either going through that personal loss or who had just gotten done with it and they're low level to the ground. Okay. So the mentor shows up when you say, I'm going to go, you start that quest. That's number one. Number two, you start and you start aiming and the mentor shows up. Okay. And then number three, this is another reason why you want to go now. You want to do it now. Don't put it off anymore. You want to do it now, is that you're going to get clarity of vision and you're going to get a perspective and a reward. Clarity, a different perspective, and reward. Once you're on your quest, things look totally different. You know how people talk about what's the difference between theory and practice? And there are a lot of people like, don't give me your theory. I want the practice. I want the experience. It's because of this very thing. Once you are starting and doing something, that's when the real shows up. That's when your world gets shaped like granite at the hands of Michelangelo, where those little chips that come off start to release the image of you from within the block of hard granite. And it doesn't feel good, but it is a rarefied space because a lot of people are not willing to do that. And being on a quest, a real one, it's going to afford you that. And that is how you start to get the clarity. I wish I could sit here and navel gaze every single day and just get the clarity. But it isn't until I get up, I make the actions, I go, I do it scared. I do it without knowing where the resources are coming from or whatever it may be, that I start to get clarity. I start to get new perspective and I start to get rewards. And so I'm going to tell you, do it now. This is your season. You have your reason. If your reason is simply because I can't continue to stay where I am in the predicament that I'm in, that's a good enough reason to start. So let me recap this for you really quick. And don't forget, if you made it to this point, I do want you to go on and put in the comments R&R. Okay. So the first reason is you're going to go on your quest. And that quest, you are going to be the main character. you're going to have a goal, but really you kind of want to know what your proposed outcome is going to be. Because we all know now that I've gone through the components is that might change as you get in there and the real outcome is revealed. Okay. The next thing, oh, and under the goal, instead of trying to have this ominous goal, instead, get you a system, a plan, even if it's a checklist, just get it. And R&R, you're going to have your rules. Put the word shall in there if you really want your rules to get strong to help you. And then your rituals. Your rituals are fancy habits that mean something to you. Not that I have to do it, but I get to do this. Or it has something reverential about it. Okay. The next thing, and we're still under the quest, number one reason is you want to have your why, your reason for going. The next thing is get your mind right. Understand you're going to have some challenges. Just because you have challenges does not mean you failed the quest. It means that you are now in the midst of fulfilling the components of what a real quest is. Okay. Internal and external. The next thing is your journey. And this is where it's going to be, it might be long. Well, I'm going to say usually it's long, but get ready because on that journey, you're going to actually, you guessed it, you're going to find, meet, or be able to discover your mentor. Now, your mentor may not be someone that you interact with personally, but I will tell you there are many times when I'm trying to do something and I find them on YouTube or social media and I'm able to consume content that they've put out there. And I'll never meet them, but they mentored me through a certain situation to help me to get the outcome that I wanted. So understand, it's not until you are in that journey that you're going to happen up on your mentor because what? It's not until the student is ready that the teacher shows up. And then the last one, the real reason for the journey starts to emerge. This is the real, this is the new or the bigger outcome. When I'm writing something, I always create a personal outcome that my main character wants. And then I create a bigger, global, universal outcome that not only helps them, but helps so many other people around them. And it's just mimicking life because that's what happens. You start out with an outcome for yourself. And when you're really in the midst of a good old quest, what you do is going to end up helping so many others, even if it's coming through the experience that you gain so that you help others with cheat codes to get further faster based on your experience. Okay. So that's 1, quest. 2, mentor. We just talked about that. And then 3 is going to be when you're in the midst of going, when you're in the midst of ready, shoot, aim, you start to get clarity. You start to get a new perspective, point of view, and the journey comes with rewards. Okay. And so those are the things that I want you to understand. It is time to do it now because I don't think we can really make it through this life and have any modicum of quality of life without quest. And I just need you to know that I'm here to help you to make it a brilliant quest by giving you these cheat codes and letting you know how to be prepared to do them. So what I want you to do is I want you to get started. Let me know in the comments. Check them out. Don't forget to check out the links in the description where we've got free community, Brilliant Quest community that I'm inviting you to. And what I want you to do next is I want you to watch this next video. I'm going to see you sooner than later. This is Michelle, your big sis with Brilliant Quest. Bye.